Well, welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk. I'm your lovable host, Zach Ciota, and I'm just sitting here, just relaxing, just getting excited because I get to talk to you guys for about an hour here. Welcome back to the show. Had a fun day, a busy day of doing field work in the field where I belong sometimes. And I just got to find a better place to see. The chat's here. It's small and I'm old, so I don't want to have to look downward like this at the chat. We're going to figure it out here. I'm going to have to shift this whole apparatus this way toward the mini split, and I'll actually include the mini split in this whole picture. That would be awesome. That would be great. The Cooper and Hunter guys will love that. That's right. You can install them yourself, guys. All you need to use that factory line set. Go ahead and torque it up. You're good to go. It'll be all right. I want to say hello to our chat people. Let me get on them chat people. All right. We have Jessica Egan. She's known as Jess. She works with Brian Orr. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Brantley has no last name. It's overtime season. You bet your bottom dollar. It's overtime season. J.W. Keats. Hey, boss, I need an opinion on something. I give you an opinion. Does it have to be accurate? You didn't say. So you can go ahead and write it down in the chat. We have Jeff Kuiper. Jeff Kuiper said, is it a mini split or a mini package unit? No, see, Kuiper, the window units, those are mini split package units. So if you want to go to Walmart and purchase a couple of mini split package units, because I'm doing quotations, podcast people, they're made by the same people now. It's like Medea's making a lot of the window units, and you have like Samsung window units. So basically, mini split package unit. Know what I'm saying? They're the same thing. Absolutely rootin' tootin'. They're the exact same thing. What's up, Steve Stone? What's up? I said Kuiper. Joe Shearer, Patrick Calderon, what is happening? Hello to our members. Thank you, members, for the support. You helped buy some skilled trade-up supplies. Appreciate that. Clint Glasgow, who's been a member since the dawn of time, and Bimco, Frylock 87 HVAC, has also been a member since the dawn of time. That is awesome, and thank you both, gentlemen. I appreciate it. We have Al J. I don't know. It's A-L-J-E. So I'm going to call you Al J. I see he's over here on Discord, too. I have the Discord open. Come and join us on Discord. Before the show, I do a little bit of chatty back with the rest of the guys over here. We have about 45 people on Discord now. Before it was like 20-some. Now we're up to 45. Soon we're going to take over the world. And we're just horsing around, talking about stuff we worked on and things like that. What's up? Mark Beezer. And I think that's everybody. Hey, guys. Hey, let's get down to the chit chat. I don't have any graphics for HVAC news, but that's how I'm going to lead it off here. It's not really news. It's just news-like. I don't know. News-like stuff. I have on my paper here. It says 9 o'clock start. I almost hit the mark there. I was like a minute late. So, well, I went to D&L Parts today. Here's my transition. Flawless as usual. I went to D&L Parts today, and I was talking to the manager there, which, I've been going to D&L Parts for a long time, but I haven't been there in a few years. And when I walked in, and I didn't recognize anybody, of course, and there was the counter guy, and I didn't know who he was, and there was a guy walking around, looked like a hippie, had like I'm describing myself now, a beard, but he had long hair. It's a difference. And turns out that was Pete, the same manager that had been there that actually proctored my EPA exam. He's been there for 18 years now. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. It's Christopher Walken. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I talked to Pete for a while. I'm just like you guys, go to the supply house. You want to talk to the guys in there for like half the day instead of doing work, because talking to the other guys about stuff that you do at work is better than doing work, I guess. So I talked to him for a while, and then got to kind of give away something here now. I asked on YouTube here, and I'll bring it up real quick. Let me go over to the other screen. Asked on YouTube, I put up a post, and I asked, I really didn't ask. It was speculation for guessing. So started up a Trane heat pump split from 2007 today, but it would not work because the blank was bad. True story. I will tell you guys on a live stream tonight. Well, I didn't live stream that night, and I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, but I could not live stream that night. I was intending to, but I did not. And I guess it doesn't matter what you intend to do if you don't do it. So 38% of the people said it must be the compressor. 23% of the people said indoor TXV. 7% said blower motor. 19% said condenser fan motor. And 12% said outdoor TXV. Well, the part that was failed was the indoor TXV. Of course, it's always a TXV. Don't you people watch social media? There's always a TXV. Even if it wasn't, I would lie and say it was, but it actually was. My big hint was it's 2007. And in that time period for Trane, split systems, heat pumps with air handlers, there was a lot of bad TXVs. Now, the happy thing is that it was a bolt-on TXV, and they are real easy to change. I didn't have to cut any copper. I just slid the coil out slightly, unbolted the TXV, little clippy on the lines that go toward the back, the equalizing line and the sensing bulb. Impedance? Is that what that's called? Impedance? Little clippy, and then I take the valve off, put the new valve on, bolt it in right there, use my 2 wrenches, my torque wrenches, that's right here. Probably could use a torque wrench, didn't really think about that, especially on the equalizing line because it's a flare connection to the suction line. Could definitely use a torque wrench. I don't know where those specs are at, but I guess I could have used just a regular flare nut torque spec out of a mini split guide maybe, I don't know. But I torqued it by about 25 inch-pounds or something like that. I'm flexing my arm for people on the podcast. Just imagine me flexing my arm, okay? So I torqued it down real good. Maybe too much. The nut didn't crack in half or nothing, but I was about there. I was probably about there. Pretty easy change out. It's about the easiest TXV change out you're going to do. The hardest part was in the crawl space, but it was a pretty good crawl space. So no cutting copper, nothing like that. And started things back up. You know, the first time through it pumped down because the TXV was slammed shut. It would not operate. I flipped it into heat. It's real easy to do. In fact, I made a video of this whole thing. It's real easy to do. I hear my Discord beeps now. I should mute those while we're talking. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But go over to Discord. It's a lot of fun. I think Al J, you just went over there, man. It's great. So it was pumping down and cooling, so I flipped it into heating. Of course, everything's working great in heating, which is a big indicator that's a TXV. Plus, then this is where experience hits the diagnostic, because back in the day, these were going bad all the time, this time period. So when I see that air handler, I'm like, okay, well, this happened a lot to this air handler. I'm going to pull upon my experience as a field service technician in diagnosis of a bad TXV. Switch it out. Bam, bam. We're working great. Put some 422B in there and she's humming 95% as good as R22. And here's the pain in the butt of it. I should have done more testing. I didn't really have time because literally this house was being put on the market. This was this morning that I finished this up. I finished up at 12 p.m. Had to go into Wilmington, 30, 45-minute drive into town, pick up the part, another 30 minutes back toward the job, get there, unbolt, bolt, blah, 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 vacuum, went swimmingly again, and add just a little bit of charge. I think a couple more pounds of charge in the system, 3-ton split. And she was doing really, really well. In fact, the 422B seems like it's pretty decent. No wild, crazy swings, no odd pressures. It seemed pretty decent. A little bit lower suction pressure. And for a second there, I had it in my mind because I was seeing 59 PSI. I was like, well, that's too low. But I had to realize it's R422B. Then you look down at the saturation, it's like, oh, okay. It's much higher than it would be for R22. So that was good. Everything worked out really, really well. And it would be awesome to test more. I got to test the temperature splits and stuff like that. Couldn't do like static pressure, things like that. I know our temperature split fell in line with good airflow. And what I mean by that is if you have a certain relative humidity on the return air side, you're going to have a predictable response as far as temperature split. And if it fell within the predictable response, where the danger is when you see it getting much larger than it's supposed to be, that means you have a low airflow situation. We didn't have that for sure. And by we, I mean me. I was the only one there. And when I finished up, not 30 minutes later, somebody drove up to the house. They were taking a look at it because it got put on MLS today. So it's listed real estate now. And here I gotta, okay. It's listed now, so they can go ahead and sell it. I still have to do the duct blaster though. And that's where the next part comes into play here. So I had to do the duct blaster test, and this is the problem here. And we'll get to some comments here in a second. I see there's a whole bunch of comments going through there, and I'll try to backtrack and go through a few of them. So the inspection department says we're going to need you to do a duct blaster test, a duct leakage test. I was like, no, that's not right. And I was thinking to myself, no, that is incorrecto. We do have to do duct leakage tests on new systems that are 100% new. That is the operative word. You have to be 100% new ductwork. If it's not, then you don't have to do it. I know this because there's plenty of systems out there I've done that are 96% new and 4% drops in the walls and stuff that were not required. They weren't required to do one of these duct leakage tests. I was like, no, this is incorrect. This is wrong. I spent my entire career dodging duct leakage tests. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. So he called the inspector back. There's 3 inspectors there. 2 of them said no. The main guy said yes. It's like, okay. So I was curious. I was like, what's going on here? So what I did was I called up the inspector in the neighboring town. And I know I've told the story to a few of you guys, but I want to kind of recap here to kind of get where we're going. So I called the inspector in the neighboring town. I was like, do we need to do this stuff? And the neighboring town is, I don't know, more sophisticated, a bigger town, big city. So if there was a more stringent code, they would be enforcing it for sure. And he's like, no, we don't enforce that at all. I was like, why did I get so lucky? How did this happen? So I thought to myself, wouldn't it be fun to be able to do this and not have to call? I don't want to call a company in here to my job to duct test. First of all, I'm going to have to meet them here. If I do have to like tape up a seam or something like that or whatever I have to do, because this is an old bird air handler, who knows? And all the gaskets are, laying on the ground around it. When you take the doors off, the gasket around the drain compartment just falls on the ground. So there's going to be some leakage. And I would like to be there. Obviously, I had to fix it if there's some leakage. So I said, I'm going to figure out what I can do. So I made an arrangement, and I'm getting myself a duct leakage tester because I think it's going to be fun. And I see half of it down here. I was telling the Discord guys, I have 50% of a duct leakage tester. I have a very nice dual port manometer now that I'm afraid to touch or carry around, that I'm going to break it. I have a nice red bag that says Retro Tech on it. And I have a bunch of rolls of saran wrap to put on grills, but I have no actual blower and the little duct and everything like that. I'm still waiting on that. Wow. Good grief. But I look forward to doing the test. I mean, I do look forward to that. And that may be a service I can offer people because it's something that a lot of people don't have. So maybe there's a corner of the market here that can do duct leakage tests. People are kind of anal about this stuff now. They want things to be energy efficient. They want things to be sealed up tight. Hey, I'll check it for you. I'll be $500. I'll be happy to check it. There's a saran wrap charge. And if you want me to wait for you to fix it, it's $100 an hour. $150 an hour. I don't know. I'm being a little facetious, but there's truth in that. I mean, it's one of those new skills that are going to be more and more handy as time goes by. I mean, they're going to add regulation. They're not going to take them away for sure. So I look forward to using it. I'm going to make a video of it. I videotaped all this stuff, like the startup that went wrong because the TXV was bad, the TXV repair today. I paid special mind to the pump down process so I can make a video about it just for newer guys, just pumping down an air conditioner or heat pump, and then the actual changing of the TXV. But, I had to edit all those things, so, they'll be out in about a year, probably. I'm still finishing the edit on the stupid mini split video, and it's been, good grief, a month now. But they are coming. One of them's just about finished, so keep your fingers crossed here. It will eventually appear someday. Okay, so before we move on, because there is one more thing. And we will play Skill Trade Up tonight. And all of you Skill Trade Up people who have won, I'm going to be going through all of your stuff and packing it up at the end of this week. Probably consolidate all those activities so that I can just send them out at one time. So just in case you're wondering, I'm going to just ship them out at one time. I figured it'd be easier because we've had a whole bunch of winners over the last week or so. Let's see what I was going to say. Okay, the Blue Wand story. That's right, there's Blue Wand too. Oh my gosh. Well, let me hit on this because I talked about going to D&L Parts, and we'll get to the comments after this. Talked about going to D&L Parts, and I turn around in D&L Parts, and there's RS44B, which is a replacement that a lot of us are familiar with, and there is a big stack of blue on. I'm like, you guys have the blue on. You guys have it. I was like, how are these people making money? Selling refrigerant, right? So evidently, and hey, look at that. Does poop have a difference in potential? I don't know, Bible bloopers. That's an interesting thing to pay to say. I don't know. I feel like you wasted your money. You could have bought a soda. And for podcast people, we have people that can super chat on YouTube, and your comment gets highlighted. And hey, look, it's on the screen and everything. So I appreciate that. Although your statement's weird, that's fine. You can talk as weird as you want. So back to the blue one. He was telling me, the manager of D&L Parts, that they have an agreement, a partnership where they actually have Blue One like steers them to different suppliers to buy materials. That's how they're doing some of their money gathering. They're actually pointing people towards certain suppliers that they work with whenever they're answering these tech support calls. And they will actually, you can check out and everything and go pick it up at the place. And some of them deliver some of the parts and things like that. So it's pretty interesting because you figure Blue One is doing a lot of industrial work too. So that's some big money right there. So they are making some inroads as far as how they make money away from the refrigerant, which is a declining profit margin because it has to be, because R22 is just going away more and more. So you figure they're going to have to make money in a different way. So he it's out there. They're really doing that. And I turned to him and I said, hey, Pete, how many of these things have you done yet? As far as people coming in to buy stuff that Blue One sent them in? He's like, none. I was like, okay. He said, but we just got started a few days ago. I said, well, that makes sense. It makes sense to just get started and get nothing going on yet. But he did say that next Wednesday, and this is the magic thing that supply houses do, next Wednesday, they are going to have like a counter day sort of thing, and the Blue One guy is going to be there, and they're going to have food. So I might pay him a visit, do a little in-person interview. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know what I'm going to ask the Blue One guys, because I feel like I figured it out now how they're doing, and it's it's perfectly reasonable that they're doing this stuff. It's kind of ingenious that they're taking their app and steering guys into a supply house and making money that way. That's kind of a smart way to do things. It's kind of like a hands-off thing for the techs. You can just kind of talk to them, and they'll set them up and everything like that. They'll have everything kind of set up for them and ready to go. It's kind of nice. So maybe get some clarification, at least get some free food maybe. And it's serious because on the front of the flyer, it's just a picture of a food truck. That's all they have there. They want to make sure a guy shows up. There'll be electricians at this little counter day. There'll be plumbers showing up. Be like, hey man, I want to hear about Blue One too. Where are them hot dogs at? That's exactly what it'll be like. But I feel like now we can get to some comments here. All right. I probably missed about 300 of them, so I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Patrick Calderon says, I met the HVAC jerks in Boston at Blue One event last week. Hey, cool. I actually met them too. AHR 2019, the same place I met Joe in person for the first time. Joe Shear, he's in the chat. It's pretty fun. A lot of people that I knew online were there. It was really, really cool. So, and the HVAC jerks were there handing out like their shirts and stuff like that. And they're really cool too. I think they have a really cool show, actually. Kind of a neat and different thing that they're doing. It's almost like a morning show combined with an HVAC podcast and everybody's best friends. So it's pretty cool. So that's HVAC Jerks podcast. So if you don't listen to that, you can check that out. Let's see. I know someone wanted to ask me a question, and I have no idea what that question is going to be now. If you had any questions for me or any comments you wanted me to see, if you don't mind making them again, because there is a lot of comments on the screen, it's going to be kind of difficult for me to discern which one is which. And I think some people are just talking amongst themselves, so it's kind of hard to do that. And if you ever want me to see your comment and kind of bring it up on the show, like you have a topic you want to talk about, of course you can call in. Let me go ahead and put that on the screen. Actually, I'll put it on right after our sponsor bit. In fact, let me do that. I will, we even have some trolls here. All right, well, the trolls are here too. Hey, strength in numbers here, guys. All right, we're going to do a little sponsor bit, and I'll be right back, and we'll talk about some of the comments. Just put HVAC Shop Talk in your comment, and it should light up orange for me. I should be able to see it, and that'll make it the easiest for me to see and to comment back to you. So we'll do that when I come right back. Company Cam is the only app every contractor needs. document your jobs, communicate with your crews, cover your company's butt. Every photo and video taken with Company Cam is always attached to a project, geotagged, date and time stamped, and user attributed. With Company Cam, you can impress your customers by showing them real-time progress, give them a full scope of your work, and show the proof at the times when you need to. Company Cam is also compatible with many different integrations, including apps like Jobber and House Call Pro. You can try Company Cam for free for 14 days, so head over to companycam.com to learn more. Our sponsor, NAVAC, is running a promotion from May the 1st all the way till September 30th of this year. And when you purchase a qualifying vacuum pump, you get 2 free products. You choose 2 out of the following 3. The NHB1 3/8 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, the NHB2, the 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, or the NVR1 core remover. So there's 2 really nice free items every time you get one of the qualifying vacuum pumps. You can find out more at NAVAC Global, and you can purchase these things at TruTechTools.com, but use our Shop Talk discount code if you purchase from TruTech to save 8%. Workwithyourhands.com is a web page that hooks up people looking for jobs with great trade jobs. On the screen right now, I just have a few of the positions available in Durham, North Carolina. Service technicians, HVAC installers, there's some plumbing stuff, electrical stuff. Pretty much all the different skilled trades. Jobs are open all across the nation, and there's no reason not to take a look if you're looking to make a move. It's workwithyourhands.com, and you can find links in the description of this video to your next job. This program is brought to you by Yellow Jacket, and this is the Yellow Jacket Wireless Refrigerant Charging Scale, part number 68864. Has a 220-pound capacity, a large platform. It's easy to carry, has a handle built in. I've been using this one for a while. Bluetooth connection. There's no screens on it. You just turn it on. It links up to your phone, and you can watch it from the YJack View app. A really nice and very durable scale. This is the 68864 wireless refrigerant charging scale from Yellow Jacket. That feels like all of them, probably. I think so. I was wrong about the Linux Parts Plus guy. I thought he was trolling, but now he's kind of funny because he banned Joe from Parts Plus. So the Parts House itself is in the chat. Now, to follow me here, the building has a soul and is in the chat, and there's a reckoning happening for those of you who say that Linuxes are just over-engineered, perhaps overrated. There's a reckoning happening in the chat, and Linux Parts Plus is the cleaver that is cleaving people from the actual store. So you're going to have to go somewhere else to get your Linux parts, like Ari Michael, or you're going to have to go buy something from the Concord store. Does Concord have a store? Does Duquesne have a store? They have that Links now. Maybe they get their own store. Maybe there's a Duquesne Parts Plus or something like that that's behind a Linux, like in the alley. There's like a tent, and there's like a Duquesne Parts Plus. Could be. It could be. It absolutely could be something that happens. I love Concord. It's a fantastic machine. I've never seen one running. I've just seen it at the back of like a Scotchman store. It looks nice. Has a cool black grate around it. Reminds me of a 1998 Goodman. I think it's an awesome unit. Awesome units. I love the fact that they use that LG compressors. I think they're very nice. Whoever doesn't like a first series LG compressor, well, they're just not living. That's what I think. Oh, now, come on, guys. Let Linux Parts Plus be alone, okay? He's just trying to make it in the world of supply houses. But anyhow, I digress. On the screen, you see a phone number. If you wish to call into this show and talk about whichever thing you'd like to talk about, if you're BIMCO, and I gave you a link, you can hit it now if you're done with your kid's dinner. That is a very specific order right there. But yes, the phone lines are open. We'll leave those open for a little while here until about 9:40. If we don't get any calls, we'll go right into the skilled trade up. We'll play for some tools. We'll have some fun. I got a chair full of tools right here that you guys can win. Hey, look, ask and ye shall receive. Let me remove this from the screen so you guys don't get the wrong idea now. No more calling. I see Bimco is, he's over there. So let me I'm going to start bringing him up here. Ooh, let's see if he can hear me. Let's see. Wait a second. Don't say anything. I got to fix it first. Okay. Don't say anything. All right. Let's see. Bimco, are you there, Ben? I can't hear anything you're saying. Man, you gotta fix this thing. I thought you said it was fixed. Bimco, what are you doing? I can't hear nothing you're saying. What's going on, man? See, this is what happens this is live stream right here. Bimco's got muted or something. Watch it be my fault though. It probably is my fault. We should just answer comments about the Linux Parts Plus store, and I can just buy time while somebody figures it out. Did I hit the wrong button? I don't think so. I think I did actually. It's all my fault, and I see why. Hey, watch this, man. Okay, for those of you watching at home, Zach has a wireless microphone he's supposed to hook up to transmit the signal from computer 2 to computer 1. Now, Zach is a moron who did not do that, but he's going to skillfully do it while talking to you guys out there. And let's see, what about that weather, you guys? It's crazy. It was hot. It was 94 degrees here today. 94. Man, that's like Texas. Well, Bimco can tell us if I ever can hear him again. All right, I'm going to quiet this thing down so there ain't no loud crackles except on Bimco's end. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I have no faith in this process. Bimco, can you hear me? Oh.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was all my fault. It was all my fault, dude.
I know. I can see my indicator saying the mic's working. Source is good. Levels are good enough.
Yeah, you're good to go, man. So you got your brand new microphone. It's like a Shure SM7B, looks like.
Yeah, no, it's about 80% cheaper than that, or 90.
Hey, man, what'd you get? What'd you got?
It's like a $25 Amazon's basic microphone.
Hey, that was pretty good. I thought that one was always pretty good, man.
Yeah, works fine. So I'm not making a movie or nothing, so
hey, that's
ain't gotta be that great.
You're not making Bimco the movie. So I see your usual division of attention. What are you doing?
Well, I hadn't got the cue to come on yet, and I'd been sitting here just chatting away, and it's like, well, I'll play a game of Rocket League while I wait. So,
okay.
And then I heard the cue, and I was like, oh, I'm coming, Zach.
But you're still playing there, right?
I gotta finish the game. It's ranked, bro.
I don't blame you. Hey, let's see how well you do in conversation while you're playing the game.
Let's go.
Hey, I don't know if you saw this, but the actual supply house Linux Parts Plus is in the chat.
Joe is getting murdered in there by Linux.
Well, I mean, it's not fair. They're like a whole entity, a business entity, and Joe's just some guy in Florida who installs like 1 unit a week. Well, you see how he's so slow.
Is that it?
And he's very meticulous.
I mean, it's tough out there.
Hey, I got no problem with it.
I get where he's coming from, too. I've had some not the best experiences with Parts Plus, so I get it.
All right. See what? We want a conversation. We got a conversation. What's the problem?
Well, like I've ordered things from them before, and they say it's in, and I go to get it. It's not in, or it's the completely wrong thing that I ordered. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're real sorry about that.
So what kind of individuals work at Parts Plus? Are they like very knowledgeable individuals?
I mean, I don't know. I don't order too much from them, or I haven't. Definitely not any time recently. It's been probably over a year, maybe 2 since I've gotten anything from them. We only used them for a couple of customers we had with Linux equipment, and we had to go through their. They have a separate like national accounts team where they get preferred pricing for bigger customers. Like CarMax, they would get mad at us if we didn't go through the Linux industrial. But it was a substantial price difference, so I get it. Like a condenser fan would be like $600 through Parts Plus, but maybe like $300 and something from Linux national accounts. So it was a pretty big difference.
Yeah. I hate to buy a compressor from them then.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Well, don't care what brand it is, all their compressors die eventually.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, no compressor lives forever.
Than another.
Except for that Snowball.
That's right.
Snowball lived forever.
I tell you what, though, I've been having a heck of a time with this York chiller today. It's like they mix up imperial size bolts and metric bolts and different sizes on the same corner brackets. Just sucks.
That was the single loudest screech I've ever heard in my life.
I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just when you moved it, it's like a horror movie door. It's like,
so it was cool, is what you're saying.
It was cool. I was scared. I thought somebody was coming with a cleaver to get me. That's all.
As long as they're coming for you and not me.
I don't know. The creaking came from you, so I don't know. I was just scared because I'm naturally frightful small baby deer of a person.
Are you skittish? Our deer out here don't even care, dude. You drive right at them, they'll just stare at you.
Man, those are ballsy deer right there. If I was in Texas, I would not be a deer that would be like just staring at somebody, because Texas, everybody has a gun.
It's just where I live, and in other parts of the hill country, it's real common for people to just feed the deer in their backyard. They'll just put out whole buckets of corn. They'll walk around the neighborhood with a bag of deer corn and just hand it out to them. So they're so used to people and cars, they don't even care.
That is insane.
They'll stare at you in the middle of the street. You'll honk. They'll still stare at you, and then they'll like clomp their hoof on the pavement and slowly walk away.
Like they're talking trash or something.
Yeah, like they're like, what are you gonna do?
Okay, let me give you a different perspective. Here's what the deer would be like here if you fed them out of your hand. Like, hey little deer, hey, venison tonight. And it's really good. Venison's like a really lean, good meat to eat. Oh yeah. You got to eat these deer. There's
lots of people I know that do. They keep a bow around. Do some back porch target practice. 22 is usually quiet enough, depending on where you're at.
Man, that's
and a good enough shot.
That's real deliverance sounding. Keep a bow on the back porch. They're going to run out. Actually, that's a really loose tie to make right there.
Right there by the sliding glass door. So when they see it out the window of their kitchen, they slide that door open. Just let it go.
No, man. Oh, look, it's away from HVAC. Oh, crap.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Got to focus here. Remember, I was practicing my focus. And
I'm trying to
supposed to help
remember what all I've been doing this week.
You just mentioned something.
Condensate leaks. Oh, so that chiller we've been doing, replacing a condenser coil that was leaking on one of the circuits. So
the big
I went over there. Yeah, I don't know the tonnage offhand, but each circuit holds like around 135 pounds of 410. It's a York air cooled, and so I went over there yesterday and recovered. So I got as much as I could out till I got to just vapor. It was just not happening, but I got 112 pounds out of there. So not a huge leak, not a tiny leak. But then we went over this morning and pulled all the panels apart. Crane was showing up a little after lunch. They ended up not getting there till about 3. So we had some time just sitting around, but it went pretty smooth. We didn't damage the new coil. That's the biggest thing.
That's pretty good right there. I'm bringing your picture up because you put a picture on Discord about it. So
I put a few in there.
Yeah,
and we thought they were just going to bring in a boom truck, and then I don't even know. It's like a 150-ton, 175-ton crane. I don't know. It's pretty big.
That is huge. I've never changed out a coil that
big. Which is good. I've done it a handful of times. I've done it before on carrier chillers and on a larger ton, like a 400 and some odd ton York air cooled as well. It was just bigger. There's just more of those coils, but it's I don't know. The one on the end seems to be more of a pain in the butt than the ones that are in the middle, just because of the frame of the unit. And once you take that corner brace out, so you can slide the coil out, the weight of the condenser fan motor in that corner just wants to immediately drop. So it's rough.
Hey, guess what? You actually got a question, and you have a question from the chat.
Oh, hey, sweet.
But I'm going to do a preliminary real quick before I forget.
No, I didn't.
The flags behind me. I had to tell people where the flags came from, too, and I will forget. They came from a guy named Turbo Sawdust. He's on Facebook. Turbo Sawdust. Okay.
So I see you talking about Weaver's question.
Yeah, but did you use a push-pull recovery method?
No, so we actually had water excess up there. So I pulled from the liquid side and the suction side. Just opening up the liquid side first, try and get as much of that out as I can. And I got a bunch of rags around the top of the tank and kind of secured the water hose on top of it to keep it cool. And it went good the first like hour, I think I probably had 85 or 90 pounds out of it. And it was just the last 20 or so were just taking forever. But that's the biggest thing, is just keeping that tank cool so that it can actually push more refrigerant into it.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
difficult.
just tough.
That is very
It
difficult.
is with those big cylinders too.
What did you use to recover? What machine?
The Appion, what is it, the G5, G Twin, whatever they call it.
Oh yeah. Well, I was wondering because every one of these new recovery machines have large condensers on them. They're supposed to help with it being too hot in the cylinder. So I'm just curious.
So there's a NAVAC rep in town. He's the guy that's let me borrow their pumps before and all that kind of stuff. And he's always talking about like, man, you got to try, their 4-cylinder recovery machine and blah, blah. It's awesome. I'm like, well, yeah, anytime, dude.
Yeah, and just bring it on over, man. I'm cool with it. Yeah.
He finally got back that big white 12 CFM that we had borrowed for a couple months. He finally asked for that back.
So, oh, man. Do you think he just was never
Dustin
coming
was
back?
a little upset. And that's all right.
You thought you were going to keep it, didn't you?
Well, we were hoping we could show like, our boss, like, hey, this thing is awesome. Like buy us one. And even with, the Primo discount, it was still like a $2,500 pump.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. And I don't really see the major, I guess, advantage besides that it holds so much oil. Like it's like 1.6 quarts of oil, so you can run it. Yeah, a ton of oil. You don't. The guy even told me. Remember, he's not technically savvy, this rep, but he's a sales guy, right? And he's like, you only have to change the oil like once a year. I was like, really?
Wait a second. No, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's like, I know it holds a lot, but that's not exactly how vacuum pump oil works, my dude.
Do you feel bad, like, if the rep comes in and says, like, there's been, like, a new invention out there that I did not realize that you don't have to change it once a year?
I talk so much crap to that guy. I talk so much crap to him. It's fun because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's trying to – so they'll go and do counter days, right? And instead of hiring somebody with any kind of technical knowledge or experience, he's just doing nothing but hiring sales guys. So they'll show up at these parts houses, and they set up a table and they spread out all the cool NAVAC stuff. And they try and set up a demo for like the battery powered vacuum pump or the Swager, stuff like that. And which Swager, I get it. That's easy enough to show anyone how to use. But trying to explain to this, poor young salesperson how to use a vacuum pump and set it up and what microns are and what they mean. And especially coming from him, I'm like, dude, just let me help you real quick, show you how this goes.
You know what you ought to do is take his job. They make a lot of money.
I don't want it, man.
Just call his boss, man. Just be like, hey, this guy said we only need to change oil once a year. Let me come work for you. I mean, this guy can get me coffee.
I don't think we ever changed it when we borrowed it. I mean, we did several pull downs with it. I pulled down.
Change it at all?
Dude, it looks good. It never got milky or like, look discolored, and we were still getting good pull downs. We were doing a blank off test, before we used it, but pulled down a city multi system with it, pulled down a smaller chiller, like a 75-ton chiller with it.
A little thing, yeah. A little baby
pulled
chiller.
Down the same York air-cooled chiller we were working on today. There's one right next to it. They serve the same building. And we just did both of the electronic expansion valves on it a couple weeks ago, pulled that down with it. We never changed the oil.
Man.
It's because it holds so much. You got to consider how much oil like the Tez 8 holds. Those little bottles, they're like 8 ounces.
Tiny. Yeah.
It's itty bitty. So yeah, it takes nothing to get those dirty and lose the efficiency of your pull down. But
I'm gonna do an experiment on that. I think I already did an experiment on the little pump though, because it does wear out. If you leave the oil in it and you pull multiple vacuums, even if it looks good, like the ultimate vacuum I pulled the first time was like, I don't know, 25, 30 microns. And then it kept going up. It was like 53, 60. So eventually, you probably do a good job still, but that ultimate vacuum starts creeping up little by little until you just don't pull a good vacuum any longer. But I guess it takes that one a long time.
Yeah, it definitely can.
Which one was it? The 16 or the 24?
No, it was the 12, the one on the little dolly.
Oh, I got you.
In which, I used to have just the regular black and orange 12 CFM when I was at my last company. And I mean, that thing was great. And it held quite a bit of oil, not that much, but it did awesome. And I didn't have to change the oil in it all that much. I like to see how far I can push it.
Man, you were right, man. It says 1.6 quarts of oil.
Nailed it.
Man, you did nail it. All right, let's see how much the big boy holds. It's the NRD 16, but it's 12 CFL.
Yeah, see, that's so confusing.
That is
I don't
confusing.
know what the deal is with their model numbers.
I got to look up another one. Let's see how much the 24 and 30 hold. 1 million. No, it's 2.1 quarts. It ain't too far away from some vehicles.
Right. That's so you can leave it running for, days on a big piece of equipment if you need to. Really clean it up if it's got a lot of moisture.
What kind of hoses do you have hooked to this thing? Because you got this thing that can suck the world inside out.
You know what kind of hoses I got.
Oh, you got the blue ones, don't you?
Sure do.
How many?
2.
So you got 2
but
blue
they're the
hoses.
shorties. I need to get the longer ones.
So the 3-foot things, how hard is that? Like, how are the connections like right at the base, like right next to each other?
On the white one?
No, unlike the under units that you're working on, are the connections like right next to each other?
No, they're usually pretty far apart. So depending on where you're hooking up to, so there's one on the liquid line before the expansion valve, and then there's one just after it. And so you're on the same side of the system there, but the suction's like 4 or 5 feet away.
Oh,
so
you're maxing them out.
Yeah, kind of got to put
the pump's like
pump
hanging in the air in between the 2 hoses. Like
I've done that. Absolutely have done that before. Strap it up inside the equipment. I've had to.
Yeah, that's
just
short.
To get everything to reach. And I don't have any of the 90-degree fittings either on this set yet.
Did you get to use it when it was cold?
Worse. I used it year round.
So what I'm asking is those hoses get pretty stiff. Then blue hoses get stiff in the winter.
It was cold outside, but I was using it in a mechanical room.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're always going to be inside working on those things.
No, I'm not.
Always. You never go outside, do you? So you had a picture. The picture we just showed was you changing a condenser coil out. That big boy. That was outside.
Oh, right on.
So you proved it. You work outside in Texas.
Yeah, I know. I got spoiled all the inside work. We did it over the wintertime. And man, I wish I had all that City Multi stuff now because it was all indoors pretty much.
Did y'all Zoom lock those together?
No, we didn't do the install on any of that. We don't Zoom lock anything.
Did somebody else use any press fittings?
Okay, on the water side, we did ProPress.
I used water Zoom lock.
Water Zoom lock. Yeah, that's what we did.
Water Zoom lock is what that's called.
Got it. Yeah, same thing.
Viega makes it.
But we did a mixture, just because it was so many fittings, so we were repiping every floor. So what we could get in ProPress, we did, and had to still solder a bunch of it, which is fine. I like soldering. I like brazing.
Do you do both of them? Do you braze and use solder too, like soft solder?
Yeah. All that repiping we did for the water side of that City Multi system was all soft solder.
All lead stuff?
No, I use the lead free.
Yeah, it's good to be lead free.
Like a 50/50 or the 95/5. I like the 50/50 better.
You like the 50/50, huh? You don't like the 95/5? What about the 93/7? We're talking about beef.
So I feel like you got a tighter window with the 95/5. It's since the higher silver, it flows a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably get better penetration into the joint with it, but it's real easy to make a bigger mess and overheat, and it doesn't want to go where you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's a difference between like using brazing and soldering, and the brazing you have the high silver stuff and it runs really slow and beautifully, and then when you solder it runs all of a sudden it's like water falling off the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That's my experience in soldering. I haven't done a whole lot of it, but it was not spectacular.
I hadn't before, but I have now, so I'm pretty proficient in it.
I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna have you talk about soldering as a professional guest. Expert solderer Bimco.
Yeah. My one big tip to anyone who struggles with it: when you flux your joint, you don't need a lot. Just a nice little thin coating. You put too much, and it'll just push your solder right out.
Look at that. You are an expert.
That was the biggest thing I learned with it, because I used to just goop it on there, and didn't work great.
Write it out. You say goop?
Yeah.
Goop.
And I don't solder anything on refrigerant lines just in case anyone's wondering.
We all assumed you did.
I know. A lot of manufacturers do, but
it does look like that. When I'm looking at like a unit, even like these units that say you can't do this stuff on, it looks like there's been like solder used on some of the joints in those units. I'm just saying.
Well, and if you look it up on like Harris's website or even I think Lucas Millhop's got a deal on there, that the solder actually makes a stronger bond is what they say, because you're not annealing the copper by getting it so hot to melt, a braze rod, since it's lower temperature. So it's supposed to hold up better to vibration and stress and all that.
That's what I heard too. I heard the same thing. The tensillary strength is higher.
Tensillary, yes.
Use that to measure tensile, like for Christmas.
Yeah.
You put
Always makes me think of that movie, The Santa Claus, with Tim Allen.
What a great movie.
Breaks him out of jail with tinsel.
I love those movies. I think they're all three really good, and they're not like in descending order of how bad they are. They're really good.
No, they're all, they all descend in order, in quality.
I mean, Jack Frost was brilliant in that last one. What's his name? I can't even remember what his name is. Martin Short.
Don't know.
I think it's Martin Short.
Going down a weird rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to segue off of the air. This is my way of doing it. I told you I'm practicing at this stuff. The 10-minute thing, we blew that. That's over. It was like 15, 20 minutes. And we are going to play some skilled trade up. But you already won. Your prize will be in the mail soon, by the way.
That's cool.
I promise. I'll have my fingers crossed.
Sounds good to me.
Right here, just in case I don't get it out till next week. But
It's
I
totally
intend
fine.
to.
Take your time.
Knipex is coming your way. Isn't that right? Knipex?
Right. Yeah, say it however you want. Don't bother me.
I'm just making sure I had the right prize.
Yeah, that's what you told me. Someone else is getting that little R290 kit.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep, RJ's down there like Steve Lab uses Stay Bright. That's exactly who I think of every time someone says solder. I say, where's Steve Lab? Steve Lab here? Just Steve Lab? He's an expert right there. He solders everything, even stuff you're not supposed to.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I don't care. Looks good to me. I do a lot of stuff I'm not supposed to. A lot of it works out fine.
Great for my house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taillight warranty.
Hey, that's right. All right, man. I'm gonna let the people play some skilled trade up. You already won, so you can't play. Sorry.
That's my bad.
That's all right. You can play again in a couple of weeks if you want to. Just see if anyone else wants to play, or else I'll go inside and watch television. That'll be my two alternatives.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, enjoyed it, Zach, as always.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming on here, man. I appreciate talking to you.
Later, dog.
Later, dude. And away went Bimco. He's gone. So I can go back to my other camera. So Bimco, he's an awesome guy. He's a good friend. And you know what? He's A-OK in my book. He's A-OK. He's A-OK. Pause. Okay. So we're going to play the skilled trade up. And the skilled trade up is getting a slight upgrade tonight because I'm continually trying to improve until I get to a point which I can no longer attain. That is what I typically do. Improve until it cannot be sustained. So we're not there yet, but we're going to keep going. We're going to have skilled trade up. You can come onto the show with me, just like you saw Bimco just now talking to me. You out there can come on and play for some tools. I have a lot of tools available. I'd like to give them to you. All you got to do is answer a few simple questions. Simple, somewhat simple, medium, and extremely hard. There's going to be 4 questions. I'll offer you tools to try to lure you to go all the way up. You can say, no, Zach, I answered my one question. I'm just going to take my solo cups I won and head home, or chopsticks, or McDonald's drink, or whatever I offer you in the first round. You can keep that, go home, or you can keep trading up till you have a nicer and nicer prize. We have some power tools back here. Let me see. Depth of field's hard here because I'm reaching behind me. But there's a drill combo kit right there. That could be yours. All you have to do is hit the link, be the first one to come on the show with me, and you're going to play. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and then I'm going to bring up it's going to be like a 2-minute timer to allow me to get some stuff ready. I'm just kidding. I'm just going to kind of sit here and drink my drink and read the chat. But I need a second to compose myself before the skill trade up. And I'm going to put it right here. You can hit this. And remember, if you want me to see your comments specifically, make sure you put HVAC Shop Talk, and it'll appear in all orange, okay? If you want to play skilled trade up, you just come on over, and I will take you onto the show if you're the first one on here. So good luck to you, and I will see you guys in just a moment after our little break. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. We have a few people that have appeared, and I see the person that's going to play. I know this person very well, in fact. I know this person very well. And let's go ahead and get that person. I'm not going to use pronouns and throw it off. That's a new word that I've learned recently, pronouns. So I'm not going to use pronouns, so that'll give it away. But it doesn't matter because, let me see if I can catch her while she's eating. Oop. Yep, I think I got her. Yep. Jessica, how's it going?
Pretty good.
So what are you doing there? You got like an awesome picture behind you. It looks like a beautiful scene there. Are you at a lake, or are you just pictured next to a lake or something?
I'm in a hotel.
You're in the hotel. You're using the hotel Wi-Fi. This could go any which way.
No, I'm not using Wi-Fi at all.
Oh, okay. You're safe then. Okay. You don't want the Holiday Inn Wi-Fi. It's sketchy, to say the least. How's it going?
Days in is probably a little more sketchy.
Yeah. So what are you doing? You want to tell us why exactly you're in a hotel, or is that off limits?
Oh my gosh. So I went to Kansas for my youngest son's high school graduation.
Wow. It's a long commute to school.
Yeah, my baby graduated.
Unbelievable.
Really old.
Well, I got my firstborn son. He's graduating in a week. So it's crazy. Time flies.
Yeah. So we were supposed to fly out yesterday, but there was an issue with the flight, and we got stuck in Kansas City until tomorrow morning.
Oh, no dear. Oh, yeah, I hope Cannon doesn't find out. He'll probably want to come talk to you. So if you see like he looks sort of like Rachel Maddow. If you see someone like that, I mean, just stay away from him. Just run the other way, or like start coughing like you have COVID or something like that. That's the best thing. And be like, oh man, this is Omega strain, and it'd be like, okay, it's like The Walking Dead. You won't go near them. Well, I don't have to explain any rules to you, do I? You already know.
I know.
Except for one new thing.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a new thing. There's a timer, a 15-second timer.
Oh, that's bad.
It's like all the time in the world. You can just ask Joe. The very first time we played this game, Joe came on the air. I put a timer on that one, and he crashed and burned because the timer killed him. I remember, Joe. Atomization. I remember the question. Uh-oh. What's going on? Getting dudded up here.
Hold on.
Jessica's like, I hope she's not in the bathroom. That'd be awkward. She is in the bathroom. Oh no, this is awkward. Yep, I think I see a bath fan. Can you hear me?
A robot.
Oh yeah, it sounds like we're talking like through the water or something. Uh-oh. Oh no. She worked so hard and she froze up. Jessica, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, as long as you're here, that's fine. So you can hear me.
Kind of.
There you are. Okay, I'm going to be slow and deliberate, and the question will be on the screen. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, do you want to start with this fine Appian cup?
That is a very fine cup.
I'll take that as a yes. All right. So this is going to be your first question. Let's get you started here. Let's win you a fine Appian cup. Let me find you something. We're going to start real easy here. And if you get this wrong, then me saying real easy is really going to be like salt in a wound. So I'm sorry about that, but I think you're going to get it right. I'm not worried about it at all. So here goes your first question, your easy question. Heat always flows, A, upward, B, horizontal, C, hot to cold, D, cold to hot.
D, cold to hot.
D, cold to hot. Is that your final answer?
It is.
Well, I'm going to stop the timer. You had 5 seconds left. Hey, let's listen to the cool beeping. Well, the thing is, heat flows from hot to cold, not cold to hot. So that Appian cup
Brian's gonna fire me.
Brian doesn't watch this, so you're fine. You're going to be fine. Don't worry about that. Your job is secure. Because you brain farted on a hot and cold question and he's never going to see it, you're squared away.
Got
Poor Jessica. I'm sorry.
I know, it's sad.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to try somebody else now, but you can try again next week. Try again next week when you're not in a hotel talking through water, where it'll be a little bit easier to play for you, I'm sure. And that's what we're gonna chalk up that miss to, some sort of Wi-Fi problem. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Excellent. All right. I'm gonna grab somebody else, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay. Say bye, Jessica. Let's see if we have. All right. There's Isaiah.
What's up,
Isaiah,
Zach?
you gonna play XSplit, Isaiah?
Yes, sir.
All right, Isaiah, we're going to get right after it here. I'm going to read this question. This is level 1. You could potentially win this Appion cup
Yes,
right
sir.
here. Imagine,
That'd be
Isaiah,
perfect.
your beverages would be
Yeah.
so cold. All right.
Yes, sir. Imagine.
So here you go, Isaiah. I'm going to give you this question. You're going to have 15 seconds after I read it. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
Okay. I forgot to turn off the chat. So I'm going to have to turn off the chat because the chat guys, they did have that question right on the last one. Let me see here.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go live chat. I'll turn it back on after we get done here. Here's our first
Yes, sir.
question for Isaiah. And away we go.
Oh, here we go.
The saturation temperature of any given quantity of water vapor at atmospheric pressure is called A, dew point, B, boiling point, C, melting point, or D, freezing point. You have 15 seconds.
Like
Oh.
my dad taught me, Zach, the temperature quantity of the water is going to reach its boiling point anytime you pull a vacuum. You're going to boil the water off at a certain amount of pressure and temperature.
You
in
got
the
5
system.
seconds. Which one's your final
That-
answer?
B is my final answer, brother.
All right. You caught it just in time right there. You say B
Ow!
is your final
Oh, my
answer.
fault.
And it's actually A, dew point. Dew point is the right
oh, well.
answer. But you tried.
Ah, shoot.
Hey,
That's right. Better
you-
luck next week.
you loved and you lost, Isaiah. I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to grab somebody else, okay?
All right, Zach. See you next time,
All
brother.
right, take it easy, man.
Better luck next time.
Old Isaiah. He's so close yet so far. Hey Jeff, you want to help us out
Whoa.
here? That's right.
Heck yeah.
How's it going? Okay.
Woo.
So you appeared, you disappeared, and now you're back and you get to play. Okay. All right. So did you see how the game is played? Do you understand what you have to do?
Yeah, answer the easy questions.
Answer the easy questions. All right. It's easy to
Well,
begin with.
I'm going to probably get it wrong now.
Well, you know what? If you get it wrong, you have good company. Okay.
All right.
Let's get you this Appion cup so you can put your beverage in there and be cold for, I don't know,
Cool.
2 to 3 hours.
Cool. Look
judging.
at my hat.
You got the blue on hat. You must be a certified blue on technician.
Actually, I won twice in the month of February. I won a refrigerant scale and a recovery machine.
No kidding. What kind of machines did you win? Like what brand?
Field piece. I got the field piece refrigerant wireless refrigerant scale, and then I played for my son, and then he got the it's a field piece digital recovery machine.
Holy
Pretty
crap.
badass.
The Mr. 45. Oh man, that's great. All right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep.
So you don't really need to win anything. So if you lose
I
here, I mean,
know.
it's not
You know,
like your
I
life
couldn't
is
have
going
told you that.
badly. No, that's great. All right. So we'll start you off with the next question I have on my list here. How long ago was your EPA exam?
Back in 2007.
2007.
Oh, no.
So a couple weeks ago, plus a bunch of years. So, all right, let's
Yeah.
see here. We're going to cue up the music. You have 15 seconds after I read it, and away we go. A device is said to be a small appliance if A, it is charged and sealed at the factory. B, it has a charge of less than 5 pounds. C, its compressor is less than 1 horsepower. Or D, it is less than a meter cubed. You have 15 seconds.
I want to say B.
Now, B, it is less than 5 pounds. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, let's see here. Say B is your final answer, and time's running out here. turn our music off. The alarm clock's going off, and well, you won yourself a cup. You got it. All right. So, all right, here's where the moral dilemmas happen. You can continue going. I'm going to offer you this. Instead of a cup, I'm going to offer you this Milwaukee Shockwave Impact Ready bit set if you want to sacrifice your cup to try to win this.
I'll go for it.
I think you should. These are really sweet. I contemplated just keeping these and not even doing
I like
these.
Milwaukee.
It's really nice. It's nice stuff. Okay, so we're going to step up the questions from easy to medium or something like that, maybe. So let's get you another question. You have 15 seconds after I read it. And here we go. Per the EPA, CFC, and HCFC refrigerants, A, are banned, B, permitted to equipment owners, C, allowed in quantities of less than 7 pounds, or D, restricted to EPA certified technicians. And that would be EPA 608 I'm referring to there.
I'm going to go with C.
You're going to go with C. Is that what you said? Allowed in quantities of less than 7 pounds. All right, you have 5 seconds. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, you say your final answer is C. Time runs out here. The alarm clock. I need to shorten that a little bit, maybe, I think. So you said C, allowed in quantities of less than 7 pounds, but it's actually D, restricted to EPA certified technicians, meaning 608. They have to have that.
That's the D. No, just kidding.
I appreciate the effort. Oh, man. Well, hey, you tried. You can try again. Gee, I'll probably do it again on Sunday. So you want to wait long if you want to win something else.
And thanks for answering my question from Bible Bloopers about the difference in potential. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Bible Bloopers is always good about offering some real good discussion material.
That's right.
That's why we keep him around. But I'm glad to answer those questions.
Right on, man.
All right, dude. Thanks for playing.
Thanks.
That was Jeff. Hey, look, no one's going to win tonight. Maybe we got the wrong Egan. Maybe. Could be the wrong Egan. Let's see if this one can do better. We have a different Egan. Craig, what's up?
How's it going, there,
Same old, man. So are you in a different hotel? Are you walking under the stars? What you got going on there?
I was outside. I was letting her play, and I was like, I'm not going to bother her. I just walked outside.
She blew
And
it.
then she came outside and told me she lost on the first question.
Yeah, she blew it, Craig. We're going to need you to save this thing, okay?
Okay.
All right. You know the drill. You're the fourth person to play tonight. We've had 3 crash and burns, including your lovely wife. So let's do this Appion Cup. I just want you to win the Appion Cup. If you want to quit after that, that's fine with me. But you have to win the Appion Cup. Okay. And because we have a certain amount of questions, it's not going to be easy. The first one's going to be medium. So, but you're at a higher level than the rest of these guys, Craig. We both know it. All right. We both know it. So here you go. Here's your first question. Let's see. What do we have here? Which of the following is the symbol for electrical impedance? A, V, B, R, C, I, D, Z. You have 15 seconds.
Electrical impedance.
Electrical impedance. 10 seconds.
I'm probably going to crash and burn on the first one. I'll go with B. I know R is resistance. But
2 seconds?
Is resistance on a AC motor, so I'll just go with B.
Your time went up. You said B whenever the time ran out. So it's actually Z. It's Z for impedance.
I burned on the first one, too.
Hey, I crashed and burned when I was researching that. I was like, well, it's not Z. I know that much, and it was Z.
I was like, it can't be Z or V. Those two can't be it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's like, I never even heard of Z being in this stuff. The I, I've seen this formula with the triangle and the I's and the V's and stuff, so it's got to be one of those, right? But no.
Yeah, well, I is, ohms by I believe is the current, and E is voltage. So
Z's the only one not in
it
there.
can't be V or Z. It's got to be. We just got to use it as resistance. It's because it is resistance whenever you
Yeah.
fire up a AC motor. So I was like, I'll go with that.
Say, but
Oh,
no one wants this cup, I guess. Hey, you gonna come back? Maybe you play on Sunday. Maybe you come back play on Sunday. You'll probably win the grand prize or something.
I'm on call when I get back. So I'll be on call this weekend. So maybe it depends on how busy I am.
Well, you can send Jessica again. Jessica's due now. We can send her.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And if she doesn't want to play, then we'll just call Brian and tell her what happened. That'd be so bad. Hey, Brian, what kind of people you hire there? No.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna close this thing out, but I appreciate it. I hope you're able to call in on Sunday.
No problem. Take care, Zach.
Take it easy, Craig. Good to talk to you.
Yep.
Good old Craig, man. Yeah, look at that. Man, some nights I feel like people are going to win every time, and this tonight, like, it would not happen. It just would not happen. I'm going to turn the chat back on real quick, guys, so we can talk for a few minutes. Let's see here. Live chat, save. There we go. All right, you should be able to chat again. Guys, man, maybe this is God's way of saying that, hey, Zach, you need to mail out the other prizes. Let's not add to your list. Let's not add to your list. RJ Parker says low Z meter means low impedance. You know what? That sounds obviously true now, because we've all seen these meters with low Z. And for some reason, when I researched the question, I was reading it over. I was like, I learned something there, because I was like, it's not Z. And then, like RJ saying right here, now, it just pops back in my head. Yeah, of course it's Z. Of course it's Z. Man, oh man. Wow. Let's see. Blue HV says only a woman would get injured replacing a motor and get the first question wrong. Zah fits that description. That was mean. Oh, that is mean. We got to put you in timeout, bro. You got to go in timeout for a while. That was nasty. You're going to have to be nice. You're going to need to be nicer than that. I got to cleave you. We don't want to do that. We don't want to cleave you, man. So, guys, I had a lot of fun tonight. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this very much so. You can join us on Discord before the next show. We're going to be on Sunday night, 9 p.m. We can do this all again. I have more questions ready. We have more questions. Jessica, don't worry about them guys being not nice. Sometimes the guy's not nice and he just got to wait outside for a little while. That's all. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry. He's just going to take a break. I'm not going to cleave anybody. Probably. I don't know. I don't like to do that, because a lot of people, they like to horse around. So it's a thin line to draw between horsing around and just mean-spirited. That crossed the line into mean-spirited. So we did the timeout. I thought that was appropriate. We'll see. Anyway, enough administrative stuff right now. Guys, I enjoyed it tonight. We didn't get a winner. Had a good conversation with Bimco. Had a good talk at the beginning about D&L parts and all that stuff. You guys, I appreciate you coming by. There's a lot of you in the chat tonight. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. And I can draw it out here, but it's time to go, I think. And I will see you on the next one.